anticlimactic about the statistics.
Yeah.
I'm the one that actually introduced that, but I don't know. You gave me some grace.
Yeah, but see, and the thing is with him, it's like I said, he will argue the stupidest. He uses nuance as the defense to not agree with anything. And that's the problem. I mean, there was, Black Muse on the app. Yes. There was him, Matthew, and Jason.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah. It was like they never agreed. Like they couldn't even have a conversation.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah, because they wouldn't agree on terms. That was it.
I'm gonna take this. Okay, I'm gonna plant the seed. I'm gonna see where this goes. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So
it surprises me because Muse is fairly reasonable.
He is, but it was the lack. Muse will do the flow. That's not the show.
Muse will be a contrary.
Yeah, our voices blend in harmony.
No, in this particular case, this was at least 2 years ago. It was Matthew who just would not agree to anything. If you've ever watched the debate between Jordan Peterson and Sam Harris, literally, I think their first debate was like 3 hours. And the first hour, I couldn't watch it after the first hour because they couldn't agree on anything. And that's the problem. Anyways.
Alan, Black Muse just brings people in his room. He calls them stupid and morons. He's the worst host, the worst mod I've ever seen. A good mod should be quiet and let people have a conversation. And when people go too far, that's when they step in. But Black Muse is a punk bitch who, like you said, has to define terms nonstop. He's an obnoxious, low IQ cretin, and I love roasting that piece of shit.
Alan, in what you said about Matthew, so I was on Matthew. Euro was here for it, hardcore. I was not letting up on Matthew's ass. I'm like, what do you fucking stand for? And then it got quiet and other people were dialoguing, and he said 3 things to me in the chat, and so when you said paid. The 3 things that he had said in the chat, I totally was everything came full circle, and I was like, okay, I understand what you're saying, Matthew. Understood. He basically said, yeah, he will generalize everything because of artificial intelligence, in a sense.
Yeah, and Euro, I was with you. His whole panic about if we overgeneralize, somehow AI is going to get us all. I didn't
quite get that.
I did.
He was saying the billionaires control AI and therefore blah, blah. I mean, if that's really true, right, then they could... if these billionaires have evil intent and they control the AI, then they can already do whatever it is that he's claiming without us having to feed into.
It's not the billionaires that are doing the legwork. It's the people that are working for the billionaires, maybe.
Well, look, they've done. There's lots of studies, or maybe there isn't, but I've seen a study. Conservatives are happier than liberals. And by far. And the fact is, I think when you have too many choices, it makes you miserable because you can't decide. And that's one, and there is value in limiting one's choices. But the other study, which is I find even funnier, is the fact that men who are moderately Democratic, if they take testosterone and they have low testosterone levels, if they take testosterone, once their testosterone levels go to normal, they become more conservative in their outlook.
Ellen, you're not on dating apps, but you can do a lot of research into liberals on Hinge and Bumble, and it's a combination of feminism, toxic virtue signaling, brainwashing, atheism, LGBTQ, abortion, everything. It's the whole thing that goes into the composite of your modern liberal female mind. And at 30 years old, 40 years old, they have no children, and they will, in their profiles, they say, if you support Trump, we are not on the same moral equivalency, and I cannot have anything to do with you. These are brainwashed people. There are 60 million of these people, and there will be more Karen Fafos, just like in Minneapolis. They will commit themselves to the ultimate cause because they have nothing else in their lives to live for.
But these people have nothing to lose, which is very, very, very scary. And I will say we can blame it on the second wave of feminism.
Well,
I mean,
no, go ahead.
I'm going to say from my perspective, you guys are not going to like to hear this, but from my perspective, I hear the same thing from the right all the time. I hear something and they just say, oh, this is a Democrat, blah, 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 blah. So I don't see any difference in terms of that.
Except the right is right.
Well, it could be. In terms of the language, there isn't a difference.
If I could get earthy, crunchy, spiritual for a moment. You know, back in the 90s, early 2000, there was in that community this understanding that both the feminine and the masculine had value, and that neither one should be preferred over the other. And so there was and the recognition that we have, you know, that you can't say it's better to be this or better to that, say that, and each served its function. And it's my feeling that so you got things like you need to be your quote authentic self. Well, it's my feeling that the left subverted that message, so you get trans people saying, well, it's my authentic self to view myself as a woman, even though I was born a man. That's one example of that. And the idea of empathy, well, we're better because we have more empathy. And not understanding that empathy, in theory, is good, but that too much empathy is also detrimental. And it's always important to have boundaries, because how it affects your energy can be detrimental. And you see how detrimental it is when you see people like what happened in Minneapolis, people who claim to be more empathetic end up getting shot by police because they've now weaponized it. So, yeah, I mean, in conclusion, that's where we're at.
In conclusion, it's a morally failed society. When you're performing mastectomies on young women to meet your gender psychosis, we are living in a defunct society with criminals and 60,000 American babies, 80,000 American babies a month that we murder. You know, we're living in modern Babylon. That's the ultimate truth. These Epstein revelations, when the fact that you realize Bill Clinton is a serial predator pedophile and his wife is a regime-changing cunt fucking mass murderer. These are our elected leaders, and so we have to admit that we are all living underneath a clown world tyranny, and it's up to you, the listener, the American doer, to fight and resist this type of clown world tyranny. And Clown House is a symptom of this clown world tyranny, where Clown House has become the complainium. People come here to do mass complaining, but they accomplish nothing. They do nothing. They run for nothing. It's just a complaint forum. That's all it is.
I don't think you should assume that people aren't doing anything in politics, etc. I don't think I'm politically active in my local party.
Well, you're 1 in a million, Michaela.
I bet you a lot of people here are like that. Don't don't you think? Anybody else?
No, Michaela. Very few. I mean, this is a political room, but there's very few rooms. Most of these rooms are just complaint room, entertainment, comedy rooms.
It's not supposed to be.
Yeah, right. Discussing the Quran, right?
We're supposed to be discussing religion. So we're a little lucky that Megatron is in here because he doesn't allow any politics.
You
But
did
Mark,
January 6th, this was all you.
but well, I'll have to take the blame. But no, March, to your last point, and you raised some things that you find concerning. The problem is that the majority of Americans support those things. So, I don't know that, like, you would need a re-education program or something to convince people to change their minds on the subject.
Hillary Clinton speaking.
What's that?
You think we should be in re-education camps?
No, I listen.
He's concerned about things that the majority of Americans support. So in order to change that, you would have to somehow change the opinions of the.
Well, it's a question of education and knowledge of the law and ethics and virtue. Murdering 80,000 children a month for $1 billion a month when we're already 39 trillion in debt. There literally is no fucking priorities of money in this country when we're this far in debt. This is the end of our civilization we're fighting over. This will become the Hunger Games. The stock market is already down 5%. Gold is falling 30%. Everything is crashing because we live in a fucking dollar bubble. It's because of Congress and the House of Representatives. Your senators and your Congress people have sold us out for 25 fucking years at an unprecedented level of borrowing and spending. We are approaching the end. It's going to come crashing down because we've built a huge bubble.
I understand, but March, you understand my point that the majority of Americans support these policies.
It won't fucking matter when there's no economy, Euro. There won't even be abortions because no one will even be pregnant. And they're not pregnant already because of the COVID-19 ZAV.
Exactly.
Okay, what do you do about it? I mean, you're citing real problems, and I'm pointing out that the majority of Americans support these policies, so it's a difficult problem to correct unless you have a non-democratic solution.
I think that it's still correcting with the young people. I think maybe that the young people are seeing that, because they're naturally rebellious. Maybe I think maybe some of them are starting to rebel against this craziness.
Well, Joe Hero says it very well all the time. He reminds us that people think that that history started when they started paying attention, right? So I can say that, like, in my 20s and things like that, I was just like, in my prime, I wasn't paying attention to politics. I was voting, but I definitely was not like voting because I was like in the know and paying attention, and shame on me for that, right? So essentially people have voted based on like just clickbait stuff and headlines and going in and just voting, so they say I voted, right? So that like how we got to where we are now is based on both, we'll say 30 years, right, of social engineering, people falling for it, not paying attention. So
generational voting, that's the big one. My mother voted Republican, my daddy voted Democrat. That's one of the loyalty to the party because my family was that, and that's kind of how it started and was for many years. However, as Michaela said, I think she's right that largely the younger generation is paying more attention today than many people that were teenagers and in their 20s were in the past.
but paying
Right,
attention
there are some
to, like,
things.
what things?
There are some things that cross party lines, right? So I gathered from what March was saying, for instance, that he objects to the abortions and the abortion deaths. The problem is the majority of Americans.
Drew, don't repeat yourself a fourth time. We've already heard it. The response to your statement is that I've run for Congress and I get letters in the mail. I'm not making this up. There are people in pro-life circles that write letters to candidates nonstop. My mailbox is full of people that want to end the mass murder genocide of Americans. Our population is already decreasing. We don't have a birth replacement rate. Stop the abortions. Stop the funding. Make it illegal. These doctors are committing murder. murder. These are tyrannical fascist leftists committing mass murder every single day. 3,000 a day. We kill 3,000 precious, beautiful American babies every single day. Every day. $1 billion a month? Are we crazy? Hello? Where's our leaders? We have no fucking leaders. Just a bunch of clown leaders. A bunch of clown world syndicate fucking mafioso liberal Democrats. Hello?
Hello, I understand what you're saying. You're making a very passionate and strong argument for your position. What I'm pointing out is the majority of Americans don't agree with that position.
That's not true.
So, oh my God.
True. The reason why, okay, so Donald Trump is president because majority of Americans, essentially, we are against killing babies.
They're against killing babies, but they also are in favor of allowing a certain period for women to have that ability to exercise abortion. Well, that's what every polling shows. Every time it's been on the ballot, people have voted that way. So there's just no evidence to support the principle that the majority want a complete ban on abortion.
No, Euro's right. Look, they do want. Where the voting has been is that the American people want some abortion up to a certain limit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They don't want it unlimited.
Yeah, even Trump has that position. Trump, he thought DeSantis's position in the primary when DeSantis was too much. So Trump threaded the needle on that, and he got a lot of slack, but he got grace because he was the one that said, I'm going to appoint justices to get Roe versus Wade overturned, and he did, which literally, if you asked us 10 years ago in America, no one would have believed that to ever happen. So it's evolving. The Overton window is shifting towards pro-life. But we can't frame it as it's a majority of the country because it's not.
Right, and it was given back to the states, and so some states chose to not put it on their ballots, and some states chose to put it on their ballots. So not all states voted on that. And in my state, it was a governor race, and the Democrat governor was that you could have an abortion up until full term, right? And then the other side was ban abortion completely. So it was like it was the complete opposite, and those were the two options on our ballot. Either completely ban it, or that women can have up to 40 weeks to have an abortion. It was like, okay, well, obviously I know where I stood, but like that would be, because I would say majority of Americans want.
This is misappropriation of funds. As the voter, you don't vote for this, but commissioners, governors, mayors, they misappropriate funds for abortions against the will of the people because there is no will. There's no vote. We do not get to vote on this, and it should be a voter issue. Instead, we have Democrat, liberal, fascist thugs that manipulate, lie to us, and steal from us to go kill babies. We are living in a fallen, failed society of immoral virtue signalers who claim they have the moral high ground, but they're fucking murderers.
Are you broadcasting this, by the way? You sound like that guy that broadcast this on YouTube or something.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah.
Are you following me on YouTube, John Kitover? You should check out my new Sora videos because I'm getting a lot of views doing Sora comedy, making fun of vaccines and abortions. In fact, if you have 3 abortions, I'll give you a free vaccine. Hello?
So, Marge, did you object to the comments that Daniel raised earlier?
Daniel Nero about the elections with the petitions? Yeah, I listen, I spent thousands of dollars hiring circulators to go out there and get me signatures. And the fact of the matter is, Darren LaHood has caused over $10 trillion in COVID-19 fraud for a scamdemic pandemic. Little old me running for Congress has caused mass chaos in the political spectrum. And that's what I'm encouraging all of you clownhouse netizens to do, is to actually run for office. Don't just participate with people who are working in politics. Run for office yourself, and you will see how you will be accused of fraud. But I've accused Darren LaHood of fraud 1,000 times, and he did commit fraud, trillions of dollars on fraud. So if you think little old me with my pathetic little 266 signatures and the hundreds of other verified signatures that were out of district because of all the districting issues, it's a nothing burger. I'm sitting here talking to you, a free man, with no fear of any repercussions for my campaign, and I am a write-in candidate for the 16th district, running against a rhino who poisoned his own people with vaccines that were an unnecessary medical intervention for a scandemic. And in the Epstein files, Epstein himself is in communication with Bill Gates, cooking up the pandemic. So listen, if anybody wants to accuse me of fraud, great, center me. Make me the center of attention so I can take that attention and show you the real criminals in our society, the murderers and the billionaire scam artists poisoning we the people. I am complete. Hello?
Hello, March. So can you try to keep your answers just a tad shorter? So what I wanted to know, and hats off to you for, running and stuff like that. I think it's really, really admirable that, you put your hat in the ring. So how many signatures did you have on your petition? How many?
Hello? Are you still talking about my petitions? Hello?
You're gone.
Oh, he's gone. Anyways, the title of this room is Islamic Sensitivity to Criticism, and that's the truth. Muslims are very sensitive when it comes to Islam. If you talk any shit or have any, comments about the authenticity, because in my opinion, it's easy to commit intellectual property theft or copyright infringement. And, if you accuse the Islamic faith of committing IP theft, you're going to get some blowback. Hello?
Coco, are you with me?
What's interesting here in Chicago is people are actually filing lawsuits against the Illinois State Board of Elections and political operative insiders who are involved in an actual conspiracy to completely monopolize, dominate, and control the ballots here in Chicago and in the state of Illinois. There are active lawsuits going to the Illinois State Supreme Court alleging fraud within the political industrial complex of Chicago. Many people know that Illinois is corrupt as fuck. And I and other people have been exposing it by trying to inject ourselves into it and fighting these lawyers and corrupt judges. It's real. And Pritzker is at the center of a massive fraud, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars in state contract frauds, federal frauds, a lot of USAID fraud. There is so much fraud that has been happening for so long, especially under Biden, let alone when Biden left, he gave out $100 billion in grants to these NGOs for energy and other shit like that. So there's real fraud out there. My little 266 signatures, which I'm proud of, is a miracle that I even got that. People want change and they want authentic politicians, not these evergreen cookie cutters who put out the same messaging, and they're coordinating their messaging. They're talking to Speaker Johnson and putting out the same fucking messaging. So that's not authentic. They don't really represent the people. They don't meet with the people. They don't give a fuck about the people. They care about the hundreds of billions of dollars that Boeing, Lockheed Grumman, Apple, that's who that butters their fucking bread.
Politics took over this room tonight.
Many people. I did a lot of research on Grok. Who are the top 25 recipients of the big big, better, beautiful bill. The number one is like Lockheed Martin and Apple and Google and Microsoft. They all got in total over $500 billion a year in tax credits. That gives the liability to the taxpayers. That's not fair. Our children shouldn't get loans taken out on them on their behalf without a vote. There's no representation. Every single year, the federal government is borrowing $10,000 on your back or more. Everybody owes $450,000 each American. Just do the fucking numbers. It has exploded. The debt in 2000, it was nothing. Now it's unimaginable. It has doubled and doubled. That's insanity. We, as America, that's not our history. How have we done this to ourselves? Because of the wars, because of the lies, the fake news, and the contracting, and the never-ending omnibuses. Vote for individual pieces of legislation and spending. When you go to a restaurant, you don't order the whole fucking menu. You order one entree, one appetizer, and you pay for a portion of the bill. You don't pay for the whole fucking thing every single time. And these speakers are criminals. Mike Johnson is a fucking well-dressed criminal. That motherfucker's hair is perfect, but he's lying to us.
Okay, March. I don't know if you're keeping your responses short, and I do apologize. I got cut off. Did you answer my question about how many petition signatures you had? Because I missed it.
But you left.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
So you wanted him to address it for the third time.
It's been addressed one time.
He did because so you had read this article and he was thrown to the audience. Then he was brought back up to address it, and within his first 3 words of trying to address it, you had interrupted, and then Daniel said no one interrupt, and then he kind of got thrown away again.
Well, okay, I don't remember interrupting him giving the answer. I know I asked for it, and one time I left, so hopefully we can correct it this time. So March, what was the number?
Listen, I've addressed it enough. If somebody else in the room wants to fucking repeat the shit that I just said, or you want, you can go on my YouTube and watch the playback. Feel free.
I apologize, dude. I left the room. You think I did it on purpose?
And March, you better keep your answer short, okay?
Well, I think that's a fair request when the answers are very, very long.
Well, but what's long to you? Because
Listen, I've gone on and on all night long.
A bunch of great points within 30 seconds.
I didn't hear his last response, so I don't know if it was long or short. I know that the response before I left was incredibly long, and all I said is I hope he's keeping them short. So I wasn't a commentary suggesting that it was long.
Listen, my sensitivity to petition questions is irrelevant at this point. I'm a write-in candidate. I had to write every single clerk throughout the whole district to get on that fucking ballot. And guess what? A lot of those clerks are politically connected to LaHood, and some of them didn't even respond to me. But they endorse LaHood and have to run for their own clerkship. I'm telling you, Illinois is so corrupt, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. California and other states are engaged in massive fraud. It's unbelievable. Anyways, Euro, thank you very little. I hope your green bean makes you feel great. I know you're a super fascist at heart, but you're a nice guy, but your questions are pointless. Daniel Nero is the actual fraud. Daniel Nero has been engaging in car insurance fraud by selling bad policies. Hello?
How many signatures? I don't think it's a big deal. It's not a positive or negative thing. I'm just curious how many signatures you were able to secure.
266, you just said that.
No, 266 were the number that was validated. He submitted a greater number. I know that.
You asked how many signatures he got.
That's what I asked so many times. How many signatures were submitted? If not, I'll just have to look it up myself. I mean, it's just crazy.
And so what he had stated was that obviously when you're getting signatures, and I actually have done this for Christian Lamar that you may know from this app when he was running. So you get a few people to be able to knock doors or reach out to people, text people, and to gather signatures right on your behalf. And so what he stated is that his team gathered signatures along with himself. And so those signatures were turned in, and he himself got 266. So that's what he was stating.
Yeah, I'm just interested in knowing the total number of signatures that were submitted. 266 were validated. Now I know.
So if he was disqualified for invalid signatures, what he was stating is that as a collective team, there may have been what constitutes as an invalid signature, and is he accountable for all of those? I mean, there's no like criminal.
No, of course not. This happens. That's a normal part of the process.
Euro, the point is, they audited my petitions.
John James in Michigan. Do you understand that the first time that he was running for governor, he submitted invalid signatures and was disqualified? Did you know that?
Lots of
Euro, I didn't engage in any fraud. Euro, I'm going to answer your question. Euro, I'm going to answer your question. I turned in 170 pages. There's 10 signatures on each page. So the point is, Euro, I did not commit any fraud. I didn't forge any signatures. Okay, and I'm going to finish my statement. And the final point is basically you bringing it up for no fucking reason because Daniel Nero's got to stick up his ass. This is a Bible and Quran room, not a John Kitover roast room, okay? I'm a write-in candidate, and you can go to johnforcongress.com, and any complaints you have, you can submit it to the Jewish Complaint Department. I run a JCD nonprofit. If you got complaints, just go to the John Kitover Complaint Department or the Jewish Complaint Department. It's the same thing. And you can take all your complaints there about my petitions and my campaign, but there's no point. I'm a write-in candidate for Congress. Hello?
Hello. So listen, I'm not complaining at all. The point that happened was Daniel brought it up. I didn't bring it up. He gave me an incomplete picture, and I just wanted it completed with knowing.
Listen, the point is they give you back PDFs of all your petitions with all the challenges. Hundreds of my signatures were valid, which were not counted because they were called out of district. Now it's incumbent upon me to reverse challenge those and argue that they're valid signatures. The whole thing is such a fucking scam, Euro and Daniel. You guys have never done it. You've never experienced petitions and all the bullshit the courts and the lawyers drag you through. It's a fucking scam. The whole thing should be digital at this point. They control who's on the ballot because they don't want change. They're afraid of change and people who tell truths. The fact is this country's broke. Our cities are broke. Our states are broke. They're all in debt. The whole fucking system is completely upside down. Since the year 2000, we have spent an inordinate amount of money, and there's pensions that will never be paid. You think you got a pension, you got half a pension or less. That's the truth. And we need truth tellers out there to tell the truth. And until people start coming out and we get arrests for these fucking Epstein files, which we've been long waiting for, we are demanding fucking arrests. Hello?
Hello. Actually, I agree with you on the Epstein files. There should be arrests. But you raise an interesting point because you mentioned about some of those ones that were thrown out were actually valid because they were called out of district. Could you explain what that is, called out of district?
Yeah, there's precincts. I'm in the 16th district, and it's a gerrymandered map. So if you live across the street and you sign my petition, they're not going to call you a valid signature. Hundreds and hundreds of my signatures were valid, but they called them out of district. You guys haven't seen the actual receipts. You guys are just reading from a little blurb on the Illinois. I got the actual documentarian trail, the real evidence. I have the actual information. You guys have a little blurb on a website by a guy with a huge herpes sore on his face who does political commentary in corrupt Illinois. Hello?
Well, that's why you're the one I'm asking, because you have the info. All right. Well, thanks a lot for explaining those two terms or those 2 points.
Listen, the people that got paid to go out there and get those signatures got paid by people here in Clown House. I made all of my circulators come on here and on board and do public fucking interviews and then get publicly trained before they went out there and got signatures. I did the whole thing transparently on Clown House. And the point is, people are upset that I ran for Congress. I got them to donate. Do you know how happy my circulators were that they got thousands of dollars to go work for me? People on Clown House help people pay their rent and get food. The people that worked for me were destitute. They came from Craigslist. So You know, I don't want to throw them under the bus. People here on Clown House helped people in the real world. We did real political work, and I'm proud of that fucking work. And people who want to roast me, well, just make me the center of your attention. That's the whole point.
Well, that's
Hello?
the point of it all. Well, yeah, so then I'll pay attention to your content.
I don't think there's anything wrong with people responding to Craig's ad list, but
No,
I don't
but
know.
obviously there's not. That's why he had them work for them. And I actually was in the room, one of his clubhouse rooms, when 3 of those individuals were in there. So that is true.
If I got hauled before a judge and a jury, I would just say, listen, I'm the Craigslist candidate. And the whole thing was recorded. Even in the challenge against my petitions, they listened to the clubhouse recordings and put that in the legal paperwork because I made the whole thing transparent for a fucking reason because I don't want to get in any trouble. Hello?
You always will have the receipts, that's for sure. Gosh, the archives march that you have. Ugh.
Oh, I didn't even notice that it was up in the whatever you call that, the leaderboard or whatever it's called on top. The link.
Yeah. Articles can say whatever they want, but they don't tell the whole story. It was very apparent when we were discussing January 6th. Headlines are headlines.
I mean, you have the government lying to you like day after day. So
Charles, stop. You hate yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
I triggered you, Anne.
No, you didn't trigger me. It's just everything that you say is so negative about Americans. I'm just done with it. Every day you just talk about and shit on America, which it's just every day, over and over.
Where I'm from, we call those
Listen,
facts.
we call you Canucks. Just stay over there and don't come to Michigan anymore.
Why would you think I would ever go there?
The Canucks are always over here.
Correction, we're always over there.
Oh, hey, Charles, did you see Mark Carney got outed in the Epstein files for raping children? Your beautiful Mark Carney is a pedophile rapist, a serial pedophile. What do you think about that, Charles? He's in the Epstein new release. Isn't that exciting?
I'll look into that, but the last time I saw you sharing news, it was a lie, so I'm going to assume this is a lie. But hey, I would feel just as, I mean, actually, I would care, unlike Americans who seemingly support pedophilia now. But let me put that up.
Okay. You just come on here just to shit on America. That's it. That's like your goal and purpose. Like, what a life you have.
Do you have any idea how many times Trump mentioned Canada in the last week?
I just want you to go one day. I challenge you.
Okay, well, I challenge Trump to go one day without threatening Canada.
At least hear my challenge. My challenge for you is to go an entire week without shitting on America or talking about Donald Trump. Do you think you could do it?
I could do it if Trump could do it, but since Trump has mentioned Canada
Okay, so you
4
can't do
times
it.
in the last
So
week,
are you saying that you don't accept the challenge?
are you saying Trump can't do it?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking if you accept the challenge.
Sure, I accept the challenge with the
nothing to
caveat
do-
that I'll only do it if Trump does it. Thank you.
No, so this is my challenge to you. So you're not accepting the challenge. Okay.
Clearly, it's a dumb challenge.
That's okay. It's okay. You don't have to accept it. I understand it's hard. It's tough.
I think we would say asked and answered.
So, Jarl, it's okay. I know that it can be tough. That would be if I was you, but I wouldn't be you.
just out of curiosity, you actually don't have any clue how many times Trump mentioned us in the last 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, John, we heard that already. Moderators, point of order, moderators, moderator, point of order. I got a question for you about human behavior. My question is, why do people hold the green bean supermod like they're fascists? Why don't you just mod everybody and and just let people talk? I don't even understand. It should be the exact opposite. It should be people just modding everybody and letting the thing go. Instead, you hold these little pearls as if there's some type of like protective layer for your ego, and there's no ego. You're just, pathetic. Hello?
And it got duly considered.
I can't believe that Joe didn't accept the challenge. What a baby.
Listen, I want to thank Manville. I was listening into a Manville conversation about high frequency trading and his software and his service. And Manville, I took your advice. I started doing high frequency trading in the futures market. I've already made $400,000. So thank you, Manville. I just thought you were a stupid cop. Hello?
Stupid? You thought Manville was stupid?
Yeah, I thought he was a knuckle-dragging, fucking pistol-wearing cop, with his fucking handcuffs. Get in the back of the car. I'm taking you to jail. I thought he was just a dummy cop.
Good time.
Really a cop.
So, Manville, congratulations on your very successful advice. I'm wondering, Mark, since you made $400,000 from his advice, how much are you going to send back to him?
Well, I'm a customer of his, so he's already made thousands of dollars from me signing up for his subscription software. Thanks, Manville. You're the best.
Oh, you're a Quant VBS customer now? I think that's what he said. Let me just turn that server off here. Thank you, Manville. That's a pretty good endorsement.
Yeah, I'm a Quant VPS. Thanks, Manville. I mean, I have anonymous accounts, and man, I'll tell you, bro, I'm taking you to Cancun. I'm paying for everything because you have made me $400,000. Thank you, Manville.
Well, send them at least 40,000. 10% is very reasonable.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Kitover, Mark Carney photos with Epstein are AI generated. This is the second time this week you share AI generated photos as claims. I don't understand. Can you not tell what is AI generated?
Well, I'm sorry, but Mark Carney is a known pedophile now. Those photos have been confirmed. He's in the Epstein emails. You need to look at Pam Bondi's release. I'm sorry, Jarl, but you can't cover up for Mark Carney, the pedophile. He is a known pedophile. He's going to get arrested. Hello?
Hello. So, Jarl, I have a question for you. How is Mark considered on the world stage?
He's considered one of the largest world leaders.
That was a nice, concise statement. Very accurate.
Jarl, why does your TBS blur your vision from anything else going on in the world?
And you probably have no clue what's going on in the world. How many times did Trump go to Canada this week? It's just Can you name the threats Trump is trying to Canada? That's not to say that you have made up this season. It's not a real thing. You suffer from American exceptionalism. You have AIDS. American exceptionalism delusional syndrome. If you guys have new what's going on in the world, just send me that.
I can name a few.
What is Governor Trudeau's position? Yes, the best way to have this policy. Pompeo was kind of really ousted in his own party, or they just lost. Tell us more about how you're turning
Yeah, no, listen. So you can't just you can't just attribute Finland's
Euro,
success
why are you just interrupting everyone?
because an accurate statement was made, and I want to correct it.
Wait, inaccurate according to who?
According to me, because I'm
Because why?
because I'm familiar with the situation. I've done research in this.
You've done research. You're not even an American.
This is about Finland I'm talking about. So in any case, Finland has a very good track record with homelessness, which is not simply attributable to its ethnic background. Because
Right, it's also like minus 20 outside, which kind of gets rid of the riffraff.
no, because previously, before implementing the current program, they had a bad track record. So it's directly attributable to the current program that's in place for some reduced homelessness.
Are you claiming that Scandinavian solutions can solve problems anywhere else in the world?
Of course, you can try it out.
You go ahead and do that. I can tell you off the rip, it's not gonna work.
All right, okay.
Yeah, but
Because the benefits are exception.
pilot programs to see what works and what doesn't work.
What pilot program? The free needles and decriminalizing of hard drugs in Oregon and Portland that failed miserably?
No, well, I was talking specifically about a housing first strategy.
Getting people houses. Okay, so of the homeless population, right, in the United States, who do you want to give houses to?
Well, what the Finland approach is, you give it to all the homeless people, and the thing about it is, the solution ends up costing less, so it's less money. And
How many homeless people in America?
No, on a per capita basis, it costs less money, like significantly less money.
Oh, like in California, where they have rampant fraud, and every other state where they have HUD and all, hundreds of billions of dollars in fraud, where it doesn't actually go to helping anybody. Maybe it goes to the landlords and the super real estate corporations, but it doesn't actually help many homeless. Hello?
That's one of the problems that Housing First resolves, because it eliminates all these middlemen that is in the current process. And the theft approach, they go through all these levels.
So when you let
Wait, point of order. I want to point out that the middleman is going to be the problem for everything then. And then we should get rid of health insurance. You know that, ladies and gentlemen? Get rid of health insurance. Let's get rid of the middleman and everything. Hello?
Oh my God, it'd be so awesome.
That would be amazing.
But am I really supposed to fuck?
No, see, this is the problem. The problem's not the middleman. The problem's the government that causes the middleman to exist to begin with. It's the government, stupid. Hello?
So your solution for homelessness is to do nothing?
But we are already doing too much.
Oh, I understand doing too much, doing too little.
We need to stop. We need to stop wasting resources on people that don't want to be helped.
But what do you mean? I get $100 or $1,000 in food stamps, and I go on trips all the time. Oh my God, these people.
$100,000 in food stamps. You think that's like a realistic number that people would receive?
I said 1,000.
Okay, I'm sorry. I definitely heard 100,000.
And I was definitely being hyperbolic, but these are real videos that people have posted on the internet stating how much they get in food.
There's all kinds of fraud.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of fraud. There's all kinds of wasted programs that are supposed to house people and end up helping like 2 or 3 people. But they're reporting that they're helping thousands. They're raking in millions of dollars. Personally, these are people with salaries $250,000 a year and up, managing the homeless. I'm pretty sure, right, that $250,000 can buy you some kind of fucking house. Right, for every one of these fucking NGO workers that are running out there like fucking documenting shit or registering people for fucking classes on how not to be a fucking dope fiend. Like we can fucking get some houses to some people who legitimately want to get back on their feet. But what you have to grapple with is the fact that, you know, if you give a meth head a choice between meth and literally anything else, he's going to choose the fucking meth. So what you're going to have is you're going to have a guy who was, you know, smoking meth in a box on Skid Row, who's now smoking meth in a larger apartment box in this fucking place surrounded by a bunch of fucking meth heads. And they're going to rip the copper out of the fucking walls and they're going to go buy more fucking meth. So, like, until you give him the fucking meth, he's never going to be fucking satisfied. And he's going to take whatever you give him and he's going to turn it into more fucking meth.
Well, the results in Finland and Switzerland has probably been very positive. I just want to say the transcription.
The results in this perfect fucking country full of perfect people who never stab each other, who don't rape each other, who have a...
Okay, I was almost finished. The other point I wanted to raise was the transcription also picked up 100,000, by the way, and so it's not too surprising.
Wait, did you really remove him from the room?
No, I didn't remove him from the room. I moved him down into the audience.
Rules for thee and not for me, huh?
What's that? No, I
Yes.
no opportunities. I wasn't finished.
Yes.
Continue talking.
So to continue, continue Manville's point of what, you know, they spent $15 billion in 16 years on California's high-speed train, and they haven't laid one piece of track. Euro.
Oh, I believe there's a lot of waste.
How much they spend on housing the homeless in California right now?
I got a question. Point of order, moderator. This is for the Democrats or liberals in the room. How much debt is too much debt? Meaning that is new economic theory essentially it's all just a Ponzi scheme and it's essentially an empire civilizational Ponzi scheme. And therefore, you know, we can go to $100 trillion in debt. Like, because, you know, AOC wanted to do like $100 trillion Green New Deal, you know, like that's the type of psychosis and low IQ we're talking about. They wouldn't be able to pass a gap accounting, you know, audit. All of you need to go listen to this Epstein Bannon 3-hour roast of Epstein, where Bannon is like insulting him to his face and at the end calls him the devil. It is the most interesting because you see the world through Jeffrey Epstein and his perspective about the fiat reserve currency system or fractional reserve banking. And he calls it magic and a mystery, and he calls himself a hermit. It is an eye-exposing video. And Stinky Steve, it is hilarious because Stinky Steve roasts Epstein continually. And Epstein can't even give his money away because, you know, if you're going to die, you want to give your money away. Nobody would take his money. You should really watch this interview. Did anybody watch it?
Sounds interesting. But to March, to answer your somewhat rhetorical question at the beginning about how much debt the U.S. could sustain, really depends on a crucial question as to whether or not the U.S. continues its status as the international reserve currency.
No, it can pay off the debt right now. It just has to issue another, you know, 140 trillion, and then we could just call ourselves even. But the thing is, you got to look at it from like the Weimar Republic. Foreign money or people who are holding our paper overseas comes into the country, buys up all our assets, which they're already doing. They're doing all kinds of real estate transactions and buying out Americans. The point is that money is going to flow back into this country and drive our prices through the fucking roof. It could be specific to the United States. It might not be a global problem. Japan's, you know, might not have that same problem. China might not have the same problem. We could find ourselves in a very serious, like home prices are already crazy and property taxes are driving people into bankruptcy. Homeowners insurance, and the whole thing is just going up, 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 up. Gas prices, electric prices, it's up, 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 up. And it's just going to keep going. There's no regulation. And the fact of the matter is, it's because we created 40 trillion in debt that we didn't have, plus spent 5 trillion every year that we did have. We've spent over $300 trillion on what? There's never been a fucking homelessness solution. Where did all the money go? It went to fucking scams. It went to individuals' adjusted gross incomes. There are people out there with so much fucking money. Hello?
What do you mean when you say you spent $300 trillion?
From the year 2000 up until 2026, multiply that by 5 trillion a year plus 2 trillion a year in debt, and that's how much we have spent in 26 years. Do you know multiplication? Probably not. You probably can't even do fucking division. Hello?
So I wanted to know. It's a legitimate question. Hello?
Well, take your ticket to the window, as Jeffrey Epstein said. Jeffrey Epstein says that most people on Wall Street can't even do multiplication, let alone division. So take the ticket to the fucking window. I'll submit your complaint to the Jewish Complaint Department. I hope your green bean makes you feel great. Hello?
Great. Dude, I'm dealing in reality. I don't know what kind of drugs you're on. But when you say $300 trillion without any reference, it's a totally reasonable question to ask, what are you talking about? And then you had to say it was over a 26-year period. So that proves my point.
No, it proves my fucking point that I can do multiplication like that. Hello?
You're supposed to know it's 26 years. If you don't say since the you're supposed to read your mind. Hello?
I'm just saying, don't you think it's ridiculous that people get emotionally upset and scream into their phone in some random voice? How do you know I'm not just some AI chatbot sent here to make you emotionally upset? Hello?
It's okay when you scream, but when somebody else screams, then it's unreasonable. To just get a life.
I just want to point out how the person saying I might be a chatbot is the person who has been spreading a bunch of AI images as real over the last few weeks.
Hello? No, I'm not. What are you talking about? Spreading fake AI images. Are you projecting? And when you say get a life, you might be projecting too. Hello?
Hello? I might be. Hello? And I might not be. Hello?
Listen, I play music, I create art, I make videos. I have over 100,000 Clubhouse videos out there. I got one of the hottest YouTube accounts called Clubhouse Live Podcast. You're all on it. And I need your participation. I don't want to make you enemies. I want to make you frenemies. And I want to make you sure.
Dude, I really like when you make relevant points, which is most of the time. I'm not sure if I get your Alright, Charles, do you have anything to say?
No, I think I said everything I had to say. Appreciate it.
So, you had mentioned previously that you said Trump has spoken about Canada many times over the last month. Did you want to recount some of those things that he has said?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So one of them was he tweeted a picture of Canada, Greenland, like most of North America with the American flag over it. That's after threatening Greenland a few times, but then backing down. He also, so like a week and a half ago, he said Canada should make a trade deal with China. Then like 3 days later, he got really mad. He said we should not make a deal with China, and then he threatened to put tariffs on us. About 3 days
Not only
later.
tariffs, 100% tariffs.
Yeah, exactly, 100% tariffs. And then a few days later, because Canada didn't certify a certain series of planes, it's not even Canada, it's like anyways, Canada didn't certify certain planes, so he got really mad. He threatened to decertify every single plane that's made in Canada. And what else did he threaten? Like a bunch of, like, that's just like all in the last week, right?
But that pales in comparison to Mark Carney being outed in the Epstein files as being a pedophile. Hello?
Yeah, that's AI generated. If you stick it to just like the last week, instead of the last month, that's mostly what is a lot. It's crazy. He's like literally upset.
Listen, Justin Trudeau is a Satanist wizard dating Katy Perry, another Wicca witchcraft Satanist. These people are all pedophiles, adrenochrome psychopaths. I don't trust any of them. And Jarl here wants to sit here and fucking shill for his own country, which deserves no respect. Not one Canadian on this app can hold their weight. I'm telling you, you guys are the most fucking steamrolled people on the planet. There's a reason why Americans cannot necessarily coincide with Canadians. Have you read our Declaration of Independence, Charles, and our eternal separation? That involves you. You're a part of those faggots over there on that island who sit there with their crown and give the annual budget with their fucking ruby emerald pearls. Jarl, you're a cook to the king. Get on your knee pads, open up that king's cock, stick it in your mouth, and take some moose spunk and some maple syrup and take John Candy films and put them all back in Toronto where you all belong. Your whole population is nothing. You guys are what do you guys even do up there? You guys make oil, you cut wood, and you make good comedy films, but we didn't ask for you to, be the best comedians in Hollywood. Is Jim Carrey Canadian? Hello?
So, Gerald, one of the things I don't think you mentioned was the Alberta separatist movement and the push by the some people in the administration for independence for Alberta. What do Canadians think of that? Maybe if it stopped.
Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, that also happened in the last week, and even apparently they're talking about funding separatist groups in Canada, which is pretty crazy. Half of me thinks, go ahead, separatists, take all the money you can from Trump. The separation of it is going to happen anyways. As some French Canadian, they're going to come out and buy it. They give Alberta their right to their, if they want to separate, they should have that right. I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, it's most mothers and we're not used to it at this point. It's just another like 30-35% of Albertans would support one, maybe, so it's still pretty low support for it.
Do they want Americans for
We're mad at Americans for interfering and getting involved, but at the same time, this was happening before the whole Trump thing, right? Like, it's not like necessarily right.
I heard Republicans on stage.
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, man, I feel bad for Canada, Canada is it's not a great place like it once used to be, honestly, like, and I feel like we're just failing as a city, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Toronto, but yeah,
And you see Canada failing?
oh yeah, it's failing, bro. Canada, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, it's like Canada is like New York, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like New York, but more like fucked up. Like, the prices for everything is going up. To buy a decent home is fucking insane. Like, you need a shit ton of money to get an actual good home, and not some bullshit. It's just no point. And then the immigrants, man. It's just.
So what you're saying is affordability. So how did we get to an affordability crisis? Some people call it a debt crisis. What it really is a spending crisis and a borrowing crisis. It's an affordability crisis. Hello?
Hey, if you want to talk about it, man, niggas is broke. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, the price of the brick is going up.
Super quick, I'll listen for a bit after, but a quick statement. I think I respect your opinion, Herbert. I think Canada.
It's pronounced Herbet, Jaro. Please read it correctly. Herbet.
Well, it's Herbet, but it's okay.
Given what's going on in the world and the attacks against Canada, I think Canada's doing really well. Like obviously not like really well given the circumstances, right? I think we're doing a lot better, and I think Canada.
You didn't see the Epstein video, Jarl. It's all an organic environment. Jarl, you're the product of Canada, and therefore we know that Canada can't be doing great if you're the product of Canada. It's organic, Jarl. You are a symptom of Canada. We can clearly observe the problem when we communicate with you. It's you, Jarl. The system has created you. You're a cuck, right? Like you have a wife who bangs bankers and you watch from the distance in the living room and you come on Clown House. Is that who you are, Jarl? Hello?
I don't know what's going on here, man, but like, this is crazy allegations, man. Is this true? Like, what is going on?
I don't ignore the guy.
What's going on?
Sorry.
Hey, you don't know that guy? Or no? It's like some type of rivalry or something? What's going on?
Yeah, he's just like
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, man, Canada, I don't know, like, the trajectory for it, I feel like, at least for Toronto speaking, I just don't feel like it's going to be a good place, you know? Any city is always going to be like that, but it's just getting scary, man. You know, it's just getting scary. And, like, even getting the regular jobs, like, you know, you go into, you know, McDonald's to get fucking, you know, some fries, man, you know? You see, like, kids working and shit like that. It's just straight Indians, bro. And, you know, I might sound Indian myself, but I'm Guyanese. But, like, you know.
So wait, you're an immigrant complaining about other immigrants? Listen, we got the Jewish complaint department open. Would you like to submit a complaint about the immigration policies and all the people who have flooded into these Western countries? Sorry, Ann. Herbette, I was just asking a question.
No, but he's someone that's like a realist. He's from Canada, same place as Jarl, but like Jarl is just Jarl has a different reality than what Herbert is saying.
Well, Jarl's a little bit like that talking ape, Jeremy. Jeremy comes on here to talk to minorities because he's a rich Bitcoiner who's married, but he's super bored. He wants to come on here and talk to minorities. Herbette, have you noticed rich white Canadians that want to come on here just to talk to minorities? Hello?
Yeah, so did you want to finish what you were saying?
But he's married, Edmund. That has to stand for something.
Yeah, I do. I'm just saying, like, you just don't see familiar faces. That's what I'm trying to say. There's nothing wrong with people coming to this country and wanting to better themselves. You know, it's the same thing in America. It's just it's the way people are going about it. You know, so yeah. And what Marx is saying, you know, I don't have no clue on what the fuck he's saying, but you know, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like how you're speaking your truth.
Yeah, I'm sarcastic and I like to criticize and make submissions to my own Jewish complaint department. And you know, the truth is, Euro and Daniel here have been clutching their little green bean pearls so close to their hearts so they could try to control the conversation. It's got nothing to do with the title. This is a totally random room. The Gaza wins is here, the Gnostic master of them all.
I'm not Gnostic. You don't even.
Listen, Gaza wins. People are saying you should be medicated. They saying you're doing cocaine, and that's not projection. I don't do cocaine, Gaza wins. I just like the way it smells. That's what Rodney Dangerfield said. So Gaza wins is here, everybody. I leave you with the Gnostic master of the Christian Muslim faith, the commander of the Western forces for Hamas in California as he fixes laptops and argues with Al Normal for 10 years. Rabbono Shel Olam.
I do more than just have a store where laptops are being repaired and refurbished and wholesale to international overseas. Yeah. So when you get on that level, then we can talk. And two, you never present any information. You're just sitting in rooms playing the worst music.
I come here, I read books half the time, and then I debate politics. You got a problem with me? That's a you problem. I told you I'd make your submission to the Jewish complaint department anytime you want. All right, go ahead. Fuck it. Do whatever you want to do, but I'm going to submit it to the Jewish complaint department.
I'm pretty sure if we took a DNA test, it ain't going to say J1P58.
Well, no.
J1P58? J1P58? J1P58. I got to Google that one. J1P58. Hey, Google. What's a J1P58 mean? J1P58, this is the term for a Mishling, an Ashkenazic Jew whose mother is gorgeous and father is an Ashkenazi Jew. That's a P150.
I don't know how he does this. It's just like
Make sure you know.
he's very good at continuously talking in a sense in an intelligible way, without providing you any insight or any building to whatever we're discussing here. He's just a dismissive shit talker. I'll tell you what, John Kitover is the horrible version of Caleb. Caleb is also like this. He's a negating shit talker.
I'm getting compared to Caleb.
Attention doesn't provide you any positive information.
Caleb or Caleb?
Caleb, yeah.
Not the rabbi.
Zed is way better than Caleb.
You're talking about the rabbi?
I don't consider him a rabbi.
Whatever.
Don't you realize that all your criticisms just there are fucking projections? You are so stupid. You're comparing me to Caleb. You're projecting. Listen, go clean your mirror, Gaza boy. Go clean your fucking mirror and get your fucking shine box.
Go die, Jack. Or whatever your name is. John? Anyways.
Did you just project death onto yourself? Oy vey! Roberto Shalala! Go clean your mirror! Azza!
Anyways. So yeah, there's never any positive information. They don't provide any information. They're always either crashing out, acting insane. This guy's literally insane. Or just completely so pissed that they have already attempted to engage with you, and you know way more than they do. And yet he's still calling himself a rabbi.
Do you know how big his archives are, though, Mikhail? And he's a veteran in what he specialized in.
John? Are we talking?
John. And he's a veteran. What he specialized in. I mean, I can totally understand why he does what he does, and his archive is very big.
What did you do?
Yeah, you can just go on YouTube and type in Mikhail Norm debate. You can watch yourself being so stupid. It's unbelievable. Not many people know this about John Kitover, but he was a human intelligence officer in the U.S. Army. That's humans. That means I like to play fuck games with fucks like you. Hello?
I'm sure like a pretzel, bro.
So I want to welcome
Bet you like a pretzel. Anyways, I'm an intelligence officer.
I want to see if he has something to say.
How many different fields are called? How many different MLS is intelligence on?
Okay, so Arian, you're not speaking. Hello. Okay, what about Skull?
You're not speaking to these civilians, John.
He has several friends at the bot.
I see that you joined.
Hey, Gaza, go get your fucking shine box and your laptop repair kit. I hear you got to send out an international shipment of laptops to your Hamasniks. Hello?
Why don't you go to whatever that Mexican market you buy your refurbished 20 phones from?
Okay, let's take a break, guys. I want to hear from Skull. Skull.
Yeah, I just wanted to wait until a conversation starts.
I hear you.
Okay. There's no conversation with John in the middle of it. Just back and forth. Shit talking. Which is fun.
So we have at least our third Canadian on stage with Skull and
That was the first.
You know how many times I've seen Mikhail get used as a fucking mop to clean up shit on the floor? I've seen El Normo take a mop out of a bucket of shit, and there's Mikhail, and Norm's just on the fucking floor with Mikhail's bucket and shit, and it smells like Mikhail all over the place. Ugh, ich, and yuck.
Yeah, because everybody believes Norm is capable of intellect.
I can say great dialogue with both Mikhail.
Yeah, like the shit talk, but we gotta keep it high level. I don't know, something outside of Norm. Why you gotta bring up Norm?
Did Norm beat you in a debate recently, Gaza?
Norm has me. I have not discussed with Norm in a very quite a while now.
Okay.
Norm can't defeat anybody in an argument, bro. Come on.
Have
you seen Norm speak?
So it's been a long time since he's beat.
He's a clown.
So Norm and Mikhail, they've met their match when they squabbled. Euro.
With who?
You and
there is no match. These people are cockroaches on an actual level. The only reason this is even being entertained is because there's a clubhouse. But in any real setting, these people would not even sit in front of me and stand 5 seconds.
You don't think that
They are
he's
incapable
clever
of
or
reason. They don't know how to reason. They don't know. They're not educated. They haven't done any actual research. They're not STEM majors. They don't know what they're doing.
They're not STEM majors.
They just went to.
They're not STEM majors. I can't believe I'm listening to this projection from the distance. They're not STEM majors. Oh my God. Mikhail is the arbiter of truth and the knower of all knowledge. Everyone else here should bow at the feet of Mikhail, the most super knowledgeable person on the planet. Super Mikhail, the genius. He knows the truth. He's a STEM major. Listen to Mikhail, the super genius. He knows everything.
There needs to be a moment where you level with people and you prove your intellect, and you have yet to do so. And if anybody has seen John Kitover have a one-on-one rational conversation and actually present arguments,
oh man, you're so stupid, Mikhail. You're still talking. You're so stupid. You're still talking. Hello? Hello? I got a tattoo on my arm that says, I'm the wisest man alive. For I know one thing, and that's that I know nothing. Mikhail still has an opinion. Hello? Listen, Mikhail, the more you think, the more you speak, the further.
No, he will create problems for people, though.
He will create problems for people.
What are you even talking about?
No, Mikhail, you're not reading
Look,
the
Arian's
lines.
gonna
I
talk.
don't think you.
Reading what? I don't know whatever you're saying. Yeah. Stop.
His archives are large.
Yeah,
My reach is huge. My thrust is mighty. I can draw the flaming sword and strike the master chord. I've recorded you guys for 5 years.
I want to hear from Arian, please.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Hello everyone.
Yeah, hi. What did you want to say?
I just have a question for Kazavin's profile. I don't know what's the name.
Okay.
Hey, Mikhail, you're up.
For
So
Gaza.
you support?
I will say
Yes.
their accents are kind of like so.
I'm trying to make policy.
If you have an accent, just stick to Americans these days.
No, I just have a question.
Nice. Go ahead with your question.
Seriously, I just can't.
So
That's fine. Just let me ask this question.
you support Kazaros?
You're from Gaza.
I was born in the United States, but I moved there.
Oh, nice.
You moved to Gaza.
Yeah, in elementary school.
So do you have dual citizenship?
So that's the only reason
Yes, I do have
that you support
Palestinian
Kazaros.
Cool.
I don't. I
Yeah,
do
so
have
that's all
Palestinian
it
ID.
is.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
No, I said dual citizenship, Mikhail.
Yes, I have an ID number that makes me a Palestinian within Israel, technically.
Okay.
I'm just a non-recognized citizen of the state of Israel, restricted to the Palestinian territories. But the ones who issue my number and all the Palestinian IDs is Israel.
Okay.
All right.
That's
And
beautiful.
you're from Georgetown?
Me?
No, Ruby.
No, I'm from Iran.
You're from Iran. Okay, very good.
Yes.
All right.
And
So you're from
If
Iran,
you-
that's why. Do you support the regime or do you support?
No.
I'm sorry, that was wrong. My bad. Do you support toppling the regime?
no, I hate this regime because it's
No, it's fine. A lot of people hate the regime. That's okay, but I hate the
yes,
regime. I don't want to topple it though.
but our regime is based on Islam, and Islam makes us makes them so superior.
It's midnight, Daddy. I should be asleep. Taking that you stated? Was that supposed to be like a bird? So you know my friend now.
No one cares my kid.
No one will be on the street corner with a sign that says the end is coming. Like nobody cares about you because they know that you're mentally ill.
Speaking about him.
Exactly.
I care about everybody.
We haven't had this room open for like 10 hours.
He wants to get under my nose because I continue to express the same thing and I prove it. I don't start with talking shit. I'll give everybody the generosity and the benefit of the doubt and engage with me based on reason and facts and logic. And he.
Why is everything you say so? Why is everything you say so nasal? Like it's almost like you're crimping your nose, and it's the most obnoxious sound. Like
because I'm smoking.
Like why am I people like? And you wonder why no one wants to be around you or hear you. It's because you sound like
you
no one wants to be around you. You're man.
You only hijacked.
You have man tits. We're like literally man.
You
tits.
hijack bars for
You just literally like. All right, that's enough of him. I dumped him into the fucking toilet because he's inferior.
I just want to question for him.
He's inferior.
I've seen it extremely well.
Pretty good, to be honest.
Question about the ideology of the them and this kind of people that support Gaza. In Iran,
One second, Daniel. So what I've noticed about McKay all over the years, because the first time I ever heard him speak, he said the most egregious things on stage, and I was like, oh my gosh. But then I noticed, like, because he kind of like, he goes to any kind of room to have a conversation, and what I've noticed over the years, that he matches energy for energy, and like, I ended up being in a room with him, where the room dwindled down, and it was just me and him, and we literally just talked about the gospel for like 2 hours, and it was like,
Tickets in the window.
okay, I've seen this guy, and I've seen him just here, energy for energy.
I understand what you're saying. Just relax for a second. I'm going to explain to you something about the kid. Look, these days, narcissist. Some people believe in those people just sit there and talk to themselves hours. He just wants to express because he thinks that he has things that's a certain wisdom that's going to edify people around him. The fact of the matter is, he's nothing more than a fucking sand nigger. You know what a sand nigger is? No. He's an Arab. He's Arab. And white people are sitting here. He knows he has a white audience. He knows he has white people listening to him. But the fact of the matter is, he's a sand. He's opening his mouth in front of white people.
It's not to say
No, you're, sweetheart, is that you in your picture?
my family's from Lebanon. I'm called a sand nigger. I promise.
All right, you think that a blonde hair is called a sand nigger?
I am called.
You fucking dumb bitch. Do you want to get sent down?
I'm not being serious. I've been
Right now, review to the audience.
Oh my god.
This fucking sand nigger the fuck up here is inferior. This culture has been inferior.
So Dan, you could be right on all your points, but you gotta admit, look at his
Low IQ moronic snow nigger that worshipped the sand nigger for 25 years, practically a little bit less than half of his life.
That's a witness.
Nowadays. And you continue to act like a hero. You're a loved IQ moron.
I gotta let Eldormo know.
And even
Gotta let him know.
the one he's been chasing
Where's the phone?
quite years and like barely a few interactions.
All right, I'm gonna restart this live.